Good morning, LinkedIn friends, Value First Nation. Welcome to another episode of Value First AI Daily, your collaborative intelligence report. It is Wednesday, January 21st, 2026, here with George and Nico. How we doing, fellas?
Doing good. Doing very well.
Yeah. Can't complain. It's Wednesday. It's Orange Day. I'm super excited to see what we get into as far as conversation. What about you, Chris?
I am very excited as always. Right now, hard not to be. Especially when day after day, this message is starting to resonate with more and more people. Yesterday, I had one conversation and one email exchange, which is starting to nibble at the need and the possibility of AI native transformation for companies that, the conversations start with basically CEO says we need to do something with AI and no idea like how to do it. So they start looking for agencies, like they start the traditional path towards getting help.
Yeah.
And there's just not a lot out there right now. And this first conversation actually came from me finding a comment on LinkedIn where somebody had been frustrated with the back and forth they had with an agency. And all I had to go on in the comments was that it wasn't marketing focused necessarily, and it was unique. So it's not marketing and unique, right? And
Okay.
they're manufacturing. So I was like,
Interesting.
let me just see what's up with this guy. And it started out as like a catch up conversation. And it turned into like, what we talk about. If we can get leaders to do something like, all right, folks, no more slides, no more spreadsheets. Here's how we build out everything from an AI native stack. Like just I think it's explainable in a way where all you have to do.
Yeah, I was about to tell you, be careful there.
Right. It's I think you can explain the value that can be unlocked when leaders are coming at it from an angle of like, I know I can do better for my people, right? And I really want to. And like, if you come at it with that mindset, like it's pretty clear to pick out all these points of these file management and file sharing and editing and all of our processes that just get in the way of people being really awesome people. And then you just gotta, the next step is figuring out like what these relationships look like that can't be based on project work, really, in my opinion, can't be based on billable hours because it goes as fast as the organization wants to move, right? It can go as fast as they want.
Can we back up for a second?
Sure.
Let's back up for a second. First of all, there's a couple things in what you're saying that my brain tweaks a little bit. Like, one, all right, guys, let's get rid of all the slides and the spreadsheets. That's like, okay, guys, let's not breathe today. Like, there's the leader has to figure out a way to have like a ladder or maybe some steps, right? The leader has to figure out. The other thing that tweaked my brain when you were talking is like, I want to do something for my people. How about you do something for yourself first? Like as a leader of my organization, I dove in head first into AI to figure it out, to bring it to the people, right? And so like this is why I think historical agencies, this conversation that you kind of kicked off is like really weird to me, because it's like first of all, everything's brand new. And like you want to go to an expert when you're paying money to do something. And you're just assuming that these agencies have been doing this for the last 2.5 years and they're experts. Meanwhile, they watched like 7 YouTube videos 3 days before the discovery meeting. Like, like you as a leader have to become the AI expert to become an AI native for your organization. This is not something that you can ship off. This is not your content. By the way, you shouldn't have shipped it off. This is not your marketing strategy. By the way, you shouldn't have shipped it off. Like, this is literally the way that you're going to do business moving forward. Trust me. Like, so to all you leaders out there, get in the trenches. If you don't have a ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Gemini, if you're not spending at least 15, 20, 30 minutes, an hour a day just testing, playing, trying to figure things out, because nobody has the brain that you have in the organization. They're not going to think of it the way that you think of it so that you can disseminate it to your people. Okay, Chris,
Yeah.
I'll pause. I'll stop for now, but I'm like, no.
Let me tie this in to belief number 2, and then I want to hear from Nico. So 5 beliefs behind value first. Belief number 2 is empowerment over learned helplessness, right? And that definitely starts at the top, because part of the big promise of SaaS software has been like, we got it. We got it. You don't need to understand how all this stuff works. You're CEO. You're important. Like, you got other stuff to worry about. Just sign up for this contract. Like, let us implement, hand off all the managed services. Just give it to us. We'll take care of the system. Like, don't worry about it. Right. And now when AI gets introduced in no real other way except from that SaaS angle, right? It's easy for them to just continue on that path. And that's like absolutely right, George. You got to empower yourself. If you're gonna, like, you have to restructure your organization with a new layer of infrastructure that is AI, and no one else can do this for you. Like, as far as leading this initiative for the organization, right?
Yeah, and I think that leadership, like, there's 2 parts to it, because I think there's still a stigma that goes on around it, right? Like, I think everybody is smart enough to understand that, like, technology brings about efficiencies, and so new technology like this obviously brings around like just an exponential amount of efficiencies. And there are people who, who's, I don't know how else to phrase this. I don't know a nice way of putting it. There are people whose jobs rest in the minutia, right? And their jobs rest in the complexities that have been created over time. And removing those complexities obviously is like telling them, that their position isn't necessarily as important as it used to be, per se. So even in terms of like enabling people, I think it's right. That's definitely the right way to go. I just think that, especially when it comes to, there is a really, really strong message that you need to send throughout the organization, which is that we are trying to empower you to work more efficiently. We are not trying to like replace anyone, right? Like, and it's a matter of, if you really want to push your organization forward, weird as this may sound, you should absolutely put forward that, hey, we're not just going to fill in the extra time with more work. Because if you have, what I mean? Like, if you have a group of people and you're telling them, hey, we're going to make you XYZ more efficient, I can tell you from experience, from being in the group, from being outside of the group, from listening to people, I can tell you the first thought that goes through their head is, Great. So you're going to give me even more work. Right. So there's no positive incentive from just saying like, hey, you have to learn this new tool set because that's just the way things are, right? Like, yes, that's the core of it, right? Like we have to do this because that is the way things are going to be. But we need to put it forward and we need to at least present it in a way that doesn't make it sound A, daunting, and B, make it sound as if, oh, we're doing this just to do more work. Right.
I totally agree with what you're saying, Nico. Here's where my brain goes with what you're expressing though. Is talk is cheap. And your employees, leaders, are not stupid. They see what's happening around them and people losing their jobs. So here's what I'll say is like job security should not trump AI innovation. Job security should not trump growth through AI assistance. So if talk is cheap, then you got to figure out a way to, yes, what Nico said, but also you've got to figure out a way for the building that you're building, the business that you're growing, the culture that you're cultivating, the thing that you're doing. You've got to figure out a way, one, to get some psychological safety up in that joint. So when you say we're doing it for this reason, they actually believe that it's for that reason, not a hidden reason behind the thing that you're actually saying from the podium that you're standing at when you're giving the Zoom talk or the in-house. Like you have to come from a place of good. We're going to do this so that we can go to 4 days a week. We're going to do this so that we can add more value to the world. We're going to do this because the bonus structure is changing. We're going to do like humans have not changed. What's in it for me? What's in it for them? Bro, you want them to be efficient, or broette. Just saying. You want them to be efficient. But they want to have job security. They want to know that they're going to be able to support their family. They want to know, as Nico said, their menial tasks aren't going anywhere, or maybe they'll have even doper tasks that they'll be able to do because of the thing that you're invoking in your organization.
Yeah. I mean, this is why it's transformation and not optimization. And I'm just going to take these opportunities to share more of this message because it's resonating all over the place when I'm talking to people. And like, so I gave you one belief, but we're hitting on all of them right now. And this is intended to be like, if you don't know which way to go and you've got options in front of you, like find a way to prioritize these things where it's like natural value flow. Like where are people natural? What are tendencies? What are they interested in? What kind of value do they want to create? Instead of getting them more efficient at sending more emails, if they like talking to people on the phone, like help them do more of that, right? Like, and it's the opposite of control. Like everything about business has been, this is how you control everything to get to the outcomes you want, right? Good luck with AI. It's not going to work for you. Right? We talked about empowerment over learned helplessness. Man, just the whole history of SaaS. It's like one big push towards, we got it. Calm down. You don't have to worry about this. You don't even know how to do it, right? Don't even take the time. Like, oh, if you want to do it though, here's 5 permission levels you got to go through. So on the 5th time you want to do something, you're probably just not going to ask anymore, right? Wholeness over fragmentation. Right? Whole ass humans, as George likes to say.
Yeah.
People are complete humans, not partial resources. Right? You can think of this in terms of like the silos that we create inside of businesses, but also between business and personal. And shows like Severance exist for a reason. We ask people to show up at work and just be completely different humans than they are. And it just, hasn't been working out. AI human partnership over replacement. And this is the one, I think this is probably the biggest reason you need a coach to help you with this, because it is so easy, as Nico is saying, like, all right, we're going to save time. You're not going to have to do this and this and this anymore. If you don't fill in that gap of, how am I going to use that save time? What else are you going to ask me to do? Because now we've got 2 extra hours in the day. Are you going to let me experience the rest of my whole ass humanness?
Mm.
Or are you going to ask me to do more industrial age stuff? And then just, of course, this should be at the core of every system, framework, whatever, evolution and learning over static systems. And again, like, this industry has been all about the 90-day plans, like the project plans, like CRMs. We've seen that shift over the past couple of years. It's not a one and done project. Websites are not a one and done project, and that I've almost always been treated as such. And when the world is AI is forcing things forward every day at this point, like, it's 100% a mindset shift. Like, there are tools and frameworks and resources and people available to help you go fast now. You just have to want to do it. And it's
Well,
not going to be comfortable, but it's your people need that, because these expectations are built into the buyer experience and what customers and humans that are experiencing all these things, in their own lives, they're going to show up expecting all of this, because that's the experience they're getting. And if you're not there to put your humans inside your org in a position to help those things, they're forced to find ways, and often they do, to serve it in the moment, right? So
I
you
want
had
us
some
to
thoughts,
be.
George.
I want us to be very careful, because you said something that if somebody takes it for face value, technology has enabled you to go fast. The only thing you need to do is want to do it. Until you're like, okay, Chris says run fast. Check. Brick wall. Crap. Didn't get very far. Like, I don't think that this is all about speed. I think that it's strategic direction at a faster pace. But like, we can't be sitting here saying like you can go faster, you can do more, like everybody can become the $6 million man. I know I just dated myself. Hate me if you want to. Google it. It's an old TV show. Like, yes, you can go in that direction. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, there has to be a side of this that when you're going fast, it's because you're getting more rest, or it's equaling more peace, or it's equaling more security. And I want to kick back to this other thing, because fast sometimes goes with the narrative. The other thing that you said, Chris, is like control. And control isn't real. You've never had control. Owners want to feel like they're in control. And that's why they do some dumb shit every now and then, because they want to feel like they're in control. There's a whole other side of my life where I love to talk about don't be an owner, be a steward, because a steward mindset is totally different than an owner mindset. Now, don't get me wrong. You're still doing the things that you need to do, but you're doing them in a different way. And so what I want people to realize is we are in a world where you can do as much as you want, as fast as you want, but there should be an outcome that leads you to a place that allows you and your employees to be more human, to be more comfortable, to be more assured of who they are, where they're at, and where they're going. Not just like everybody in a damn marathon all day and then they clock out and like, well, that sucked. No.
Yeah. Important that, and I'll work on that word speed. It's really about agility and adaptation. Like, if you don't find a way to build that into almost every area of your organization right now, you're not putting your people in a place to be successful. Because whether it's positive or negative impacts related to technology or other humans that are going through these exact same changes right now, we are exposed to it every day.
Mhm.
And what happens is it's like we've got a system in place, we've got a documented procedure. uh I'm a frontline person. I'm dealing with a human right now. This procedure ain't gonna work right now. So I can either say no or help. And help in those situations often means finding whatever system is going to help, signing up for whatever app, whatever LLM chat that hasn't been approved yet. And there goes your control, like as a business owner, right? So that's where this evolution is going to happen, like with or without you. It's going to be a lot more valuable for everybody if it's with you.
Mhm. Yeah, because it's that age old thing. If it's like if you're getting support from above you, then you feel like what you're doing is worthwhile, right? But if what you're doing differs, so like in my particular case, it's like if if you're getting way ahead of the curve and you're noticing that management isn't, and you're seeing the benefits and you're seeing like what could be, but again, like management's dragging their feet and they feel that it's not important, and uh whatever the case may be. Now look, some businesses are going to want to stay traditional, and so much the better, right? Like there's balance to all things. But again, if you find yourself in being a part of that organization, then part of also like what you're able to do is move yourself up a bit and become like that assistant, become that beacon, like whatever it is that can help management bridge that gap, right? So if they're having a hard time, because oftentimes leaders are busy leading, right? And so this is like yet another thing that they've got to add. And it's not just another thing they have to add for a little while and learn and move on. It's like they have to add it and keep at it and adopt it. Um, that adoption can be very difficult, can be daunting, and especially when it comes to how do I apply this to my org, right? One of the easiest ways you can figure out how it applies to your org is by looking internally at how people are applying it to your organization, right? Because I'm sure 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10 agencies, I'm assuming that your employees are already using it, even if you're not.
I know we only got minutes left, which means I have seconds to get something off my chest. Chris, I need you, maybe even Nico, both of you, I need you to have a conversation with your assistants later today and figure out where when did the corporate ladder get incorporated? Nico, you said something like the word above you. And then you even used the term like maybe you move up a little bit. What the actual F is going on right now? Like, what is this above me? And what is this moving up? And why is the corporate ladder a thing? And why is this terminology that we're still subscribing to? Because if I go back to what I said at the beginning of this, it's like you as the leader need to get in the trenches. Like if you, any like, Viking movie or Merlin or Night, like the guy was in the battle or the guy was in the back. He wasn't above or in front or like I don't understand how we live in this world where it's like we think of this escalation as better. Like in my organization, I want to feel like I'm arm to arm, chest, shoulder to shoulder. Like we're taking on the day together. I don't want anybody to ever looking like, yeah, George up there in his like ivory. No, like what? Why? I feel like that needs to crumble as we move forward into a human powered AI assisted world of like whatever this corporate ladder bull crap and above and up is like. There needs to be some terminology around that. Maybe I'm crazy.
So, George, as we
Yes.
close the show, and
Yes.
any leader watching this, this is the
Yes.
value of having access to AI. Claude says the quote corporate ladder metaphor emerged in the mid 20th century, particularly gaining traction post World War II America during the 1950s and 60s. This was the era of the organization man. William White's 1956 book popularized that term when large hierarchical corporations like GM, IBM, and AT&T dominated the economy.
Now,
This
I
is
want
when.
everyone- Go ahead.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
And when you start to include this stuff in the context of your business, right? Not just this, oh, let me go try this. Third paragraph. This is Claude, like global, not in any specific project. He says, what's interesting from a value first lens perspective is that the metaphor itself reveals the industrial age extraction mindset, climbing over others, finite rungs, zero sum positioning. It assumes scarcity of opportunity and frames relationships as competitive rather than collaborative.
A dude wrote a book.
What's the name of the show?
A dude wrote a book, and you're doing business that way 70, 80, 90, 100 years later. A dude wrote a book.
Mm-hmm.
This crap needs to just be demolished.
The metaphor started breaking down in the 1980s and 90s with flattening org structures, downsizing, and the shift towards knowledge work, though the language persists stubbornly, even when the underlying structure doesn't make sense anymore. There you go. That's why it's the collaborative intelligence report. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but lately I've taken the word AI out of this title. It used to be your collaborative AI intelligence report. And I'm like, oh, we need humans and AI collaborating intelligently. Okay. That's why we're here. Thanks so much, fellas. I love doing this with you guys.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
we'll see
Thank you.
everybody else tomorrow.
Peace
Have
out.
a good one.